Will the market go up or down? Should you lock in or float? Find out this and more with Master of the Markets, hosted by Barry Habib of MBS Highway. Brought to you by Paramount Residential Mortgage Group.
Progress is not possible without change, and PRMG is devoted to providing our wholesale partners across the nation with the best combination of products, pricing, technology, and service. Get approved with PRMG today.
Welcome to another edition of Master of the Markets. I'm Barry Habib at MBS Highway. This is created exclusively for Mortgage News Network and brought to you by our good friends at PRMG, who are always working for your best interest. So, first things first, hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. Great Merry Christmas, great Happy Hanukkah, and in addition to that, wishing you nothing but the best in the new year for a prosperous, healthy, and year filled with laughter. So, let's take a look first of all, before we get into the events of this holiday shortened week, what happened last week? Well, interest rates, they kind of took a dive. Now, we were worried about that 2.385 on the 10-year Treasury with good reason, because once that was broken, rates moved up. Hey, MBS Highway subscribers, you were locked and protected well in advance of that. If you're not on board, make sure you are. A couple of things to tell you about what happened last week. Big news, tax proposal got put together, but very importantly, thanks perhaps to the word that you all have gotten out there, although the House and the Senate plans both wanted to change the qualifier to get the free capital gains from having to live there 2 of the past 5 years, and both wanted to change it to 5 out of 8 years. Somehow it got removed, and we are back to the 2 out of 5 years. This means that just like it has been, you need to live in a home for 2 out of 5 years, and if you're single, you'll get free gain on that home up to $250,000, and if you're married, that free gain is up to $500,000. Now, don't get confused. Some people say, well, what if I roll the proceeds, or what if I buy it? Doesn't matter. That's years and years ago. Old tax law that hasn't been around forever. The law as it states is that you get this free gain regardless of what you do with the money, regardless if you buy a home or not, so long as you've lived in the home for 2 of the past 5 years. They did want to change it to prevent flipping to 5 out of 8, but that stops. So some really good news there for us. The mortgage deduction will be reduced from $1 million to $750,000. The biggest 2 things, in my opinion, if you're in one of the high tax states, you're going to get whacked, because you get a maximum of $10,000 between income tax and real estate tax. I could tell you that that's going to be a deterrent to some degree. Also, taking some of the incentive out of buying a home is the doubling of the standard deduction. That means that if you're a renter, you will get a lot more of a tax break. And if you're a buyer, although you don't lose anything, it's less of an incentive because there's less of a difference between renting and buying from a tax perspective now. Whole other area is appreciation and the strength of the housing market. And that's really the key. This is what's going to continue. This is what we've been preaching for years. And the fundamentals that have been there remain in place. And this past week was just a 5 for 5 in amazing housing news. On the new construction side, started off with builder sentiment off the charts, best numbers in over a decade, and for good reason. Housing starts and new home sales crushed it. Some of the best numbers we've seen, 10, 11 years, just showing incredible gains, incredible strength, about 6% growth in prices. And then on the existing home sales side, we got huge gains, best number in over 10 years, a median home price going up about 6%. FHFA saying home prices jump from being up 6.3 to 6.6%. Housing on fire. Now, we're going to get some more data this week on housing. We get that Case-Shiller number, which is always important, and pending home sales, which will give you an idea on contracts on existing homes. So we'll get those. We'll follow up with those for you. But you should get on MBS Highway so you can get those firsthand. One other thing we got last week was inflation data. It remained very tame. The PCE, personal consumption expenditure, Fed loves this number. Although I think that the CPI is much more accurate. You've heard me say this many times before. This moved up a little bit, 1.4 on the core rate to 1.5, still well below the Fed's target of 2%. So the bond market didn't react poorly to that. We've got some important numbers in the bond market right now. These levels need to hold. If we see the 10-year move much above where we are here, could be in for some trouble. You could see that 10-year go up to 2.635. So keep your fingers crossed. Maybe Santa puts under the tree, or put under the tree, a little bit better yields for us, so we can avoid seeing interest rates move up to that 2.635 level. Hey, everyone, once again, wishing you a great New Year's celebration. Safe, joyous, happy. Have a wonderful new year for you and your families. I'll see you in the new year. And if you haven't done so already, get on board with MBS Highway. You're crazy if you don't. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
In today's wholesale environment, providing our broker community with the best combination of product, pricing, and fulfillment is paramount to their success. With a strong net worth and delivery of high-quality performing loans to the secondary market, it is no secret why many brokers choose PRMG as their wholesale partners. PRMG. We strive to be better in all that we do. Get approved with PRMG today.
This is Mortgage News Network.